It's the National Football League on EA Sports, where London will play host to a different kind of football. It's the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints, and it's coming right up on Madden NFL 23.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Today we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. And a welcome in, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, so much gets made about offensive comparisons. Here's a matchup where the defenses may just take center stage.
Yeah, we're usually talking about guys scoring touchdowns. How about the guys who prevent them and change the momentum of the game when they take the ball away? I love those ball hawks in the secondary. People after my own heart.
The Florida Atlantic man, Greg Joseph, ready to get this one started. And we are underway here in London. And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And here come the Saints about to begin their first possession. And the man in charge of this offense, his 8th season now in the NFL, former #1 pick, Jameis Winston.
It was terrible to see Jameis Winston suffer his torn ACL last season because he had the Saints rolling in his first year running the show in New Orleans. They went 5-2 in his starts, and they were just 4-6 after he was injured. And how about this? He only threw 3 interceptions, really addressing the big concern people had from his time as a starter in Tampa. New Orleans, they plan to roll with him for a second season and hope that last year's performance will carry over in a full season.
On play action, Winston. And that is incomplete.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, Winston. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Seed. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Brandon, I wonder if someone's down there checking on the head coach right now because he might be in a little bit of shock after what just transpired. Instead of a lengthy opening drive to deal with, his guy stepped up and stole that drive away. Momentum on their side now. How will they attack on offense?
The Vikings offense coming out for the first time, and in his 5th season leading this crew, coming off his 3rd career Pro Bowl nod, Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins is back for his 5th year as Minnesota starter, tied for the longest streak of stability the team has had at quarterback since, get this, Fran Tarkenton in the late 1970s. He's been excellent during that time, making his 2nd Pro Bowl last season after 4,200 yards and 33 touchdowns through the air. The Vikings, though, still hovering right around 500 at an 8-win mark, hoping to see him lead a talented roster back to the postseason.
Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. They'll go Madison up the middle, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Cousins throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get it out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Cousins. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Man, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got us a turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Running from the shotgun with Madison. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Alexander Madison, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings use the only turnover to get on the board first here in this one. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Joseph connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Joseph tees it up to kick off following a touchdown. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It was Daniil Hunter to make the play in the backfield.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. To throw is Winston. There's Chris Olave. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now it's 3rd and 4.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
To throw, Winston. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get on track in this one.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return, and the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road, so getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Middle of the field to Jefferson. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On play action, Cousins. This goes out wide from Madison. Oh, what a juke into space. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 down at the 33. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game's changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you, all right? So if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth league. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. He'll start with a give to Kamara, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, at the end of all that hit and holler, and it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. With a goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
From the 44, Winston, he gets it to Thomas. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not his space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. The defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ballgame, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 11 now. Winston looking left side. It's caught by Landry. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
Oh, it's time to give more credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He's hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
On 3rd down, Winston. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Winston to Thomas, and it's a New Orleans 1st down.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Winston now to throw on 1st down. They'll set up the screen down to Kamara. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
They'll throw again. Winston. Back to Kamara for another catch. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there. Those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Winston. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Winston to the sideline here on 4th down, and Will Lutz gets set for a New Orleans field goal try. The kick by Lutz is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
Field goal, Lutz to kick it away. Takes it at the 7. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. And they'll start out here with a jet sweep. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
On 2nd down, this is Madison. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Okay, didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge. And that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Cousins on 3rd and 2. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he will have a Vikings first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, here's Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. On the handoff, it's Madison. And not much room to speak of. They'll get about 3 up to the 41. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd and down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Cousins. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
The Vikings send out their punter. Deontay Hardy deep for New Orleans. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked down inside the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
A first down throw for Winston. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. And tapping those toes, he tried to get both in bounds. He could not do it, though.
In tap dance parlance, could not complete the shuffle. All right, needed to get that shuffle down with both feet, not just one.
Is that what they say?
There it is. You put a little sand down on the stage.
I'll take your word for it, my man. Well, that gives them a little room and not much. A gain of 2 to the 5.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. Now Winston. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Was it Darius Smith there getting in and bringing him to the ground?
Oh, boy, he got a favorable spot there. The guys on the sidelines are raising their hands over their head and clasping their hands to signal safety. But the official marked it just outside the end zone at the 1-yard line.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. And this returnable for Rager. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return. And the Vikings will be set up well as they take over in great field position. First and 10. First down, here's Cousins. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far in second down.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Now we give to Madison. And he'll bring this one inside to 35. After 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a third down coming up. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Third and short yardage. Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had. Thought they could exploit them. Unable to do so on that play.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this will stay a 4-point game.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally for this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over, and it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? That's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
And because they couldn't hit the long field goal, they are set up nicely offensively at the 41, 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, helped their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They run it again with Kamara. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that's his longest run of this contest.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down of the 46. And 5 yards on the play there. It's a drive will continue.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball, pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short. That's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football. Winston to give. It's Kamara. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that field like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
They'll try to throw now. Winston. Thomas has got it. Complete. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
All-pro receiver Michael Thomas missed all of 2021 while recovering from an ankle injury, but we'll never forget. He set an NFL record in 2019 with 145 catches. When healthy, borderline unguardable, just like he was on that play.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Winston. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
From the 22, Winston. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And the Vikings will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively, getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And now out comes Minnesota. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Following the interception, Cousins in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? You have to ask politely because remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And his throw is incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Cousins now. Toward the sideline, it's complete. An athletic grab, but still well short of the first. But a gain of 5, and it'll be fourth down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on third. The Vikings send out their punter, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or two. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. They juked him. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take the receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. They'll get this out to Kamara. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Now it's Kamara in the passing game, and he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too. Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Winston to throw for it on 4th. They'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman. And he is going to have the Saints first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Jameis again. On the slant, complete to Michael Thomas. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage. Sets
him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. On 2nd down, Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, 15 yards. And the Saints have moved out in front. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Lutz with the extra point. And the lead is now 10-7. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Madison running left to about the 40-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going. And then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
From the 40 now on 2nd down, Cousins. He's going to let this one go deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Offense tried to get a little slick there and sneak the back out of the backfield and turn him into the primary deep receiver. But it's good coverage defensively. They were able to break it up.
The Vikings on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Thielen with his first catch, and it's a 1st down. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is, because he understands how to get open in key situations.
From their own 40 to the other 40. The gain of 20 leads to 1st and 10. Now Cousins. Complete. Smith has it. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located a tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Throwing again on 2nd down. Cousins. Throw caught there by Osborne. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 20-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
From the red zone now, Cousins. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one, picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a first down.
2 minutes remaining in the first half, 10-7 our score. So it's first and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Here's Cousins. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. That'll bring up second and goal after the gain of 5. Great footwork there, Charles, to dot the I, stay in bounds, get both feet in. He's probably thinking, though, man, I made a catch like that close to the end zone. I should have scored.
Yeah, there's always a regret when you're that close to the goal line. But let's go back to what you're talking about before. Getting his feet down. Would you say dotting the I? I can cross the T as well. That was excellent footwork to get in bounds and make a great catch. They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them off the scoreboard here.
About a half yard from the end zone, third and goal. They'll run for it with Cook, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. It's Dalvin Cook there with a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Vikings have regained the lead. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. You can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Joseph now to have the PAT. And that makes it 14-10. A 10-play drive that time. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming for Dalvin Cook. Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Taking it in at the 3. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
Winston now to throw on first down. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
The offense schemed, going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Blake Gillikin now. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here comes Rager. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing, Cousins. His throw incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing is Cousins. This goes out wide from Madison. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
To throw, Cousins. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Now Winston. That's to his running back, it's Alvin Kamara. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Winston. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. To throw, Winston. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Blake Gillikin on the punt here as he'll send this one away. This is taken at the 15. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. And the Vikings going to take over here one more time before the half. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And just 25 seconds to go in the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. Cousins. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. It's a gain of a couple on what should be the final carry of half number one. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everyone, to our brand new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, let's run through the next-gen stats for the Vikings in that first half. And even though they've got a halftime lead, they're likely devising ways as we speak to try and get a little more production from the passing game.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Going to begin the drive here with Madison. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets to the 30.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? And the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Cousins to throw it. Out route to Jefferson, and he's got it. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
Little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at it, and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And his throw here's incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featuring receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups. And they had one, they were just unable to complete the pass.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw is Cousins. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a 1st?
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's a give to Madison running right. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he was actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Cousins now. Throw left side complete. That's Smith. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender. But the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Cousins. Touchdown, Vikings. KJ Osborne, 26 yards. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give it a little cushion.
Let's take it into the boxing ring. You talked about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes as it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Joseph on for the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, a touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked in each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, the next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Wasn't able to connect, so the play results in no gain.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, Winston. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, if there was any thought that this thing might turn around for this offense in the second half, I think those thoughts pretty well dashed after that interception return there.
It just has not been a good outing for this unit whatsoever. There's no other way to say it. They've been overmatched, haven't performed to the level that they've needed, and that throw there is just going to contribute to this game getting out of hand.
Joseph now to have the PAT. And the lead is up to 18 now. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Takes it at the 7. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Back to it after the pick 6. Winston. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
You know they wanted, you know they expected. They needed him to be sharp coming out after the half. Unfortunately, he's missed his first 3 throws. I wonder if he got out late and missed his warm-up time.
The whole team did come out a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Must have been a heck of a halftime speech.
Yeah, maybe just trying to rally the troops back from this deficit. And this is going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
This offense in desperate need of conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Jameis to throw it. Flush to his, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And out now come the Vikings. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. Now the ball comes loose. The Saints say they have it, and they do. That play, it looked like trouble from the very beginning, and it wound up being even bigger trouble than they anticipated.
Yeah, and instead of cutting his losses on the play, I think what happens here is receivers get so excited about this play call with a chance to run with it that they try and really make it work no matter what. He just needed to cover up on that one, but he didn't, and they lost possession.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Winston now after the fumble recovery. Flushed out right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Winston. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Here's Winston. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Again, it's Winston. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And it's 3rd down.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send him back to the drawing board.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun, Winston. To for the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. First some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. Fourth down now, but he was fourth down that one. Not have another turnover on his ledger.
The kick by Lutz is good, and that'll get the deficit down to 15. Well, certainly happy they were able to force the fumble, Charles, but wish they would have gotten in the end zone, only getting 3 points there and still facing this second-half deficit.
And they also will understand it's going to be a whole lot tougher to force another turnover the rest of the game because that offense, they're going to be all about ball security from here on out.
Field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
They'll start on the ground with Madison. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense on that go-around. The offense won the challenge. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Someone moved, flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Still first down.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now Cousins. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
2nd and 15. Off the play fake, Cousins. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Smith. And he goes out right around the 39. So the completion good for 7 there. And 3rd and 8 now. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They're in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. On 3rd down, Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Ball in a loss of 2 there on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackled him for a loss.
The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
So first and 10 now from the 30. Here's Winston. He's got a man complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 35. And you need a big play? Go to your big play guy.
Listen, that's football 101. When you have to have it, you expect that guy to step up. A lot of people call these receivers divas. Sometimes just leadership when they get in the huddle and say, get me the ball. I'm about to make a big play.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a first and 10 all the way down at the 35. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. 58 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Second down, it's Kamara again. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he can even get going moving the football.
Third and short yardage, Winston. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he went nowhere. He went backwards, back to the 33. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and that'll bring up fourth down.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack, but that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Winston to the sideline here on fourth down, and Will Lutz gets set for a New Orleans field goal try.
From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. The kick by Lutz is good, and they're hanging around here as the lead's down to 12. So his third field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these threes into sixes.
And sevens, and probably even eights. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear if they want to close this gap.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. First and 10 as this new drive starts.
Cousins and the Vikings with a first and 10 at the 25-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. Second down.
Well, in every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
From the 29, Cousins.
Throw caught there by Osborne.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That one a first down pickup of 8.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. On play action, Cousins.
Complete. Jefferson to target. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 19 yards there on a catch and run.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. They'll go Madison up the middle, and this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving running back a crease to run through. It does a nice job to hold them just a couple and force the 3rd down.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. He lets this one float the back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, third quarter, but that not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one, because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now if these guys can turn this turnover into points, this could start getting a little more interesting.
Michael Thomas now heading back onto the field. And I know that they double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, it weakens their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Following the interception, Winston. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And he's stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
All defense is worried that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam coming out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now for the 25. Winston now. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a halt. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. Three quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in London. The offense on 3rd down. They converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This time it's 3rd and 3. And he is going to have a Saints first down. It won't be by much. He needed 3 and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows first down. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right, they did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. To throw is Winston. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says a line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw, Winston. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible. Try to throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. Winston. Buying time to his left. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. I think it's safe to say this is a game he's not going to forget anytime soon, Charles. 3 interceptions.
It's rare that we see 3 interceptions by one team, let alone by an individual. And I think that after the second one, he's probably telling his teammates, any ball that's in the air, it's going to be mine. And that turned out to be true.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. Here's Madison running on 1st down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He's got Smith here. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. They'll run it with Madison. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Throwing is Cousins. Complete. Smith has it. And the Vikings are going to have a 1st and goal. It's the tackle made at the 10-yard line.
So when you're up by 2 scores in the 4th quarter, when you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Cousins on 1st down. And they're going to get it. They bring it out of the sack back at the 16-yard line. Not the 1st and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead. Thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
1st down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. On the handoff, it's Madison, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 78 yards rushing for him now in a ball game.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, thinking about running the ball here, not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
3rd and goal for Cousins. Touchdown! K.J. Osborne with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And well, he looked right off the line like he knew that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown.
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25.
The New Orleans offense set to take over. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You'd have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know, what do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you can.
And now here is another interception. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it. I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Now we'll give to Madison. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line.
Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Vikings slow to get up.
Well, they come out and take a look at him. We will step aside for just a moment. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
Throwing, Cousins. This high for Smith, and it's intercepted. P.J. Williams with a pick.
And the Saints are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the fourth quarter.
Well, it certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
They have still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it.
They start the drive on ground. Kamara.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down. And he's able to break out 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down.
The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you. and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And he'll just punch it out of there. It's not a great kick. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football. You're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw the charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
Running from the shotgun with Madison. Credit him with 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Gonna run with Madison again. Calling a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Play action now, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
Had the right idea. They were trying to throw it to the sideline, but led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. They spot it on the midfield stripe. So it is a 60-yard attempt here. And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And that'll keep this a 19-point game. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Well, they didn't fall behind any further thanks to that missed field goal, but still staring at this 4-quarter deficit. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Open man is the tight end Troutman. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To throw again on 2nd down. Winston over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Landry. And he'll be brought down inside a 40-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
On 1st and 10, Winston. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
So the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a 1st here on 3rd down. Got an open man. It's Olave. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 16. A gain of 22.
I can put my defensive cap on right now. I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
They have a throw on first down there, but it didn't complete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
They'll throw again. Winston. That's out to Hill, right side complete. They're all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. Sets him up nicely. First and goal. It was a pickup of 14.
A 3-score game here late. You could probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss. No one wants anything to count as a moral victory or really something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad. We'll put that one in the win column for the defense. Trying to contain tight ends in the passing game is so difficult nowadays, but they did in a big way there.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, second and goal. Here's Winston. That is caught by Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Saints have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
So that drive consumes 9 plays all told.
And it was Chris Olave who finished things off with a touchdown.
Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Here's Madison. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's 2nd down. Taken down by Pete Werner. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively. 1 minute 56 to go. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Cousins. Open man is Thielen is complete. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Going on the ground with Madison. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Another carry now for Madison. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. To throw is Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
4th down, field goal try coming, so Cousins is off, and on comes Greg Joseph from Minnesota. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. The kick by Joseph is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Joseph now to kick this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Winston and the Saints now down by 15. 57 seconds to go. It's an extremely tall order in front of them, but they've got the ball with a 1st down. Winston now to throw on 1st down. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Counting down at 30 seconds remaining. A 1st down throw for Winston. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up 2nd down.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but had nothing working in the secondary. So they dropped it up to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Jameis to throw it. The pass caught by Olave. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 29-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. One last shot now for Winston. Over the middle into the hands of Michael Thomas. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
Yeah, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence and made it happen for a victory.